casting. Okay, so data type and typecasting done. Today we are going to discuss two things. Means we discuss something else, but before that, this is a one small topic I just want to discuss. This is something is called, as we discussed the last time, we can declare, means we have different numbering system. So when we declare any number like int I equal to 10. So when we declare any number, okay, if 10, don't take it as it is as a binary. It is simple. We cannot declare binary. Okay, cannot declare. It's not possible in the programming, in Java programming at least, and also in C. Okay, so even if you see anywhere int I equal to 0, sorry, 1001. If you see something like that, then don't think it is a binary. It is a simple decimal number. Decimal means our real life number, the numbering system we are using. We are using decimal number, means 10 numbering system. So here we cannot write a binary. Okay, always remember that one. Second thing is what? Here we can write the octal number in Java program. Okay, so we can write what? Octal number. So octal number, as I said, it start from 0 and it ends up to 7. After that it will again repeat. Okay, we already discussed. So how to declare octal number in Java? So it is again a number, just only the numbering system is same. So suppose I said number equal to, if any number is start with 0, 0, 4, 5. Okay, if any number in program, if you see it is starting with 0, so it indicates that it is an octal number. Okay, always remember it is an octal number. Okay, so 45 is not decimal 45. We have to convert into the our decimal number, then you will get the value. Okay, conversion from 45 to decimal number, then you will get the conversion. Okay, I believe it is around 37. Okay, so we will check, and this is the, when any number is start with 0, it is a octal. Okay, second thing is what you have to say. If you can understand this thing, suppose I declare another variable. Okay, then I give some value 0, 4, 8. Can anyone say what will be its decimal number? Okay, so this is also, if it start with 0, it's meaning it is an octal number. Okay, can anyone tell me this is valid octal number or not? See, octal number is, yes. Anyone can tell me or message in Skype fast?
Not valid.
Why? Why?
Because there is a digit 8 and it can be more than 7.
Yes. So always remember. Always remember it is a wrong number, because there is no such symbol in the this numbering system. Okay, 8 is not there. As I said, in suppose in our numbering system, suppose I am writing 1, 2, any symbol I give. Okay, so this is 7, 8, we know this symbol. Okay, these are the just symbol, we give a specific name. Okay, that's why we cannot understand other language, means so many people, we cannot read other language, and some people cannot read other language. Why? Because we know some symbols, that is a word like A, B, C, D, or in Urdu, Hindi, Bengali, different language, but those specific symbol, the structure that we know specific meaning, that's why we can read, we can understand, we can write. Okay, so here what happened, if you see, there is no such thing in this octal number word, so it is a wrong. Okay, that is one thing. Okay, so that is one thing is done. Now we can also declare hexadecimal number. Okay, in Java we can declare hexadecimal number. So how we can write the hexadecimal number? Suppose if any number is start with, suppose I said variable name is hex, any number is start with 0x. This x may be capital, may be small, doesn't matter here. Okay, so this number, if any number is started with 0x, then it's indicate that it is a hexadecimal number. Okay, so it is not simple 10, it is a hexadecimal number. It is not a sorry, it is not a simple 10, it is a hexadecimal number, means its base is 10, base is 16, then you have to convert, then you will get the result, and then we can see in our real life, maybe it is different, maybe it is same. Okay, so hexadecimal number will start with 0x, this is an indication. Okay, and octal number they start with 0. Okay, but always remember, if number is something like that, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, so it cannot be binary. It's not possible as it is started with 0, so it is octal. If anything like this 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 anything, then it is simple our numbering system because it is started with 1, but it looks like binary, but we cannot write the binary. Okay, so these are the things, just basic things. Sometimes I saw in some type of test we means in some type, it's just knowledge for sake of knowledge. Okay, so we will see some program on that one. I already wrote. Where is those numbering system program? Okay, so this is, if you see, this number is start with 0x f. Because it is start with x, that's why it is taking f as a value. So if I print this value, you can see what will be the output. It is 15. It is 15 because in numbering system f is 15. Okay, if I change the value, suppose I said 10. Okay, then we will see what will be the value in Java. It is 16. If you convert 10, then it is 16 in our numbering system. So in numbering system, I believe we can print a hexadecimal number also, but I don't know. Okay, so but here if we simply printing, then it is printing in our simple language. Okay, means the real-time program numbering system. Now see here, this looks like binary. Okay, this number looks like binary, but this number is what started with 0. So it is an octal number. So if I print this value, then you can see what will be the output. So it is representing 584. Our program numbering system means it is a decimal number system. So if this octal number 1110 is converted into the decimal number, then you will see. Okay, so how to convert this is, please. So this is the thing. So we have to check this one. Always check if it is 0, starting 0, it is an octal number. Now suppose, as I said, if suppose I give 8, now see it will give you the error. Even before running this program, it is showing you the error. So it will say what the literal of type int is out of range. Okay, it is not out of range, it is like something yes, in out of range in that different way. Okay, so here what happened, this is the advantage of using IDE. IDE means, as I already discussed, I believe I already described what is the meaning of IDE. Okay, so we are using Eclipse. Okay, we are using Eclipse. So what is Eclipse? Eclipse is an IDE. Okay, its meaning integrated development environment. Some people may be using IntelliJ, so that is an also IDE. So IntelliJ is what somehow advanced, even better. Okay, but for starting purpose, I believe Eclipse is better. Okay, for a beginner. So here what is IDE is doing, it is helping to writing your program. So how it helps you to write the program? It helps you by giving, if you give any shortcut and press Alt, last time I discussed Alt plus space bar or space, okay, anything. If you press, then it will give you suggestion. This is first thing. Suggestion means already, like last time I saw S out, whenever I was writing S out and I press Control space, so it gives you this much of any option. So I was selecting what system.out.println. That is one thing. Second thing is what it will show you compile time error. Okay, it will show you the compile time error. We have two types of error. Okay, one is compile time, one is runtime. We will discuss both of this in detail in further in advanced classes. Okay, so compile time error means if any program having syntax error or compile time error, it will show you. Okay, also syntax error. Okay, it will show you the syntax error also. If we are writing the program, we can write the program in any editor, even Notepad. This is Notepad++, but even here we can write the program. In Notepad also we can write the program, but it will not show you that error that it is showing here. So it helps us to do the programming means making mistake less. Okay, so what happened here, if this is not showing this error, mean like notepad if not showing error, then what happened, we can write this program and we can run. When we run the program, then we will realize that we have some problem. So it is what wasting of time. So here this is what IDE is helping, and IDE is what help you to compile the program. Also you don't have to do any command and all those things, because before running Java we have to first compile the program. But here IDE means Eclipse or IntelliJ or MyEclipse or so many IDEs there, they will do it on behalf of us. We don't have to take tension. In complex program, what happened, if you have complex program, we have so many dependencies. Dependency means one program is depending on other thing. We will discuss all this thing in future. Then on that case, if you do by yourself, then it is very difficult to manage all those dependencies. Okay, but IDE is helping us a lot. Okay, so what is this IDE? That's why we are using IDE. Eclipse is free of cost, and for beginner it is okay. IntelliJ is more better, but it's somehow advanced. Okay, so this is what we are using, Eclipse IDE. Okay, so always remember, as I said, when I teach, so I teach what, not only Java. With Java we have so many things, like we are learning Git also. Okay, Git is a language, GitHub is a software or application which implement that language. Like GitHub, we have so many other software, as I already mentioned, Bitbucket and GitLab something, so they charge you money. That's why we are using the free version. Okay, we have so many software which is free. So in learning purpose, in training purpose, we generally use the free version, because we are not going to pay the money. Okay, so that is the reason we are learning this one. But Git as a language, you have to learn, you have to explore more. Okay, now this is the first thing. Now today we will start our class. So this is one thing. Today we are going to discuss operators. What is the meaning of operators? Operators, you can say any means, it is also a symbol, but we are saying that operators are defining the operation between two operands. Is operators defining the operation happening between two data. In simple word, suppose you are going to add two numbers. So here whatever the answer, this plus sign is operator, and this two, the data we are calling operand. This is called the data on which we are going to perform the operation, that is called operand. Operator is what, who is deciding what kind of operation we are going to do, means that is responsible for that operation, specific operation. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, similar to this one, 3 plus 3 into 5. So here operator is multiply this one, and operand is this two, data. So operator decide what kind of operation is going to happen between these two. So it may be 2, 3, 4, 5, 100. Okay, so this is what we are calling operators. Okay, so here this is called operand. Okay, this is operand and this is operator. Okay, so this is what we are going to discuss in this classes. So in Java we have three kind of operators. Okay, in Java we have three types of operators. What is that operators? Operators type defined on the basis of number of operand, means how many operand it is using, it is doing operation. On the basis of that we are classifying any operator. So suppose this one plus sign, it is using two operands. So here we are calling this is a binary operator. Two operands means binary. Okay, now we have, you can saw, we generally, even in maths, if we declare any variable, we generally write like, suppose x is a variable, we give some value, suppose x equal to 5. Okay, in maths. But sometime if we give this value x equal to minus 1, so what happened here, we do not write plus, because by default it is plus. If we do not mention any sign, means by default we are declaring a positive number. Okay, it may be 5, 10, anything. If you want to declare any negative number, then specifically we are giving one a sign. Okay, so here what happened, if you see here, this is called assignment operator. We will discuss after some time. Okay, so assignment operator is doing what, it will copy the right side value to the left side. So whatever the value on the right side, it will copy the left side. Like we declare any variable int I equal to 5. So as we discussed in the last class, whenever you declare a three variable, three things is happen. One is what? According to data type, memory will be allocated. So it is 4 bytes. Whatever the variable name you given, that memory space name is that variable name. Okay, and whatever the value, it will be converted into the binary format and it will insert into here. So here binary format, it looks like something like this, and before that all are zeros. Now you can see this plus sign or this minus sign is working with only one operand. It is not doing any operation with this and this. Means whatever the value, it's finally assigned to this variable. So if I declare any variable int I equal to suppose 7 plus 7. So plus is what? By default we generally do not mention, but we can mention here. And similar to this one, if I am saying x equal to minus 100. So here plus sign having only one operand, the whole thing assigned the value. So this is a different operator. So here what happened, plus sign here behaving as a unary operator, means working with only one operand, which is this one. Here negative sign is also working as a unary. Why? Because it is working with only one number, only one operand, number or any variable, any depends on the operand. So operand meaning, as I said here, what type kind of operation is going to happen, that is called operator, and to whom it is going to operate the data. So generally data, it may be variable, means you already assign some value to a variable and then you are doing some operation. Here it is behaving as a unary operator. Here plus is also behaving as a unary operator, but here it is behaving as a binary operator. So 3 minus 2. So here it is what? Minus is behaving as a binary operator, but in this place minus is behaving as a unary operator. So on the basis of number of operand, we classify that what kind of operator are they. We have three types of operator on the basis of operand. One is what? Unary. Number two is what? Binary. And number three is what? Ternary. We will discuss each of them. In Java, we have only one operator who is ternary, only one, which is ternary. Binary we have a lot. Unary we also have so many. We are going to discuss one by one. So operator is what? Who is going to do operation, and the number of operands, on the basis of number of operands it will operate. Then we are classifying into different operators. Unary means only one operand. Binary means it will work with two operands. Ternary means it will work with three operands. How many operands? Ternary means it will work with 3. It will work with 2, and it will work with one operand. Sahil, operand means, this is, I said operand, okay, it is not operand. Operand means, suppose you are going to add two numbers, 1 plus 2. So plus sign, as I said, any operation, it indicates the operation. So it is plus sign means we are going to add two numbers. If it is multiplication number, we are going to multiply this number. If we are giving the subtract, then we are going to subtract. Okay, if we go give to the division, then we are going to do the division. So this is operators, means what kind of operation is going to happen, means operators define that what type of operation is going to happen. Maybe plus, minus, division, multiplication, anything. Now what is the meaning of operand is this one. You can see this. If you are doing any multiplication, suppose 3 into 4. So you can say, but sometime we can declare a variable also, like I declare already one variable int I equal to 1. Then in the next time I am doing what? I into 5. I will be replaced with its value and then it will multiply. So here means beside this, it may be 1, 2, you can say basically data, but not number. It is like a data. It may be in the direct data number format, or it may be in the variable format. And it is not like just only multiplication or division. It may be any type of operation. Like we have comparison. If you see these two sign, or greater than sign or less than sign, these are doing what? These are comparing two numbers or anything. It also compare some other things also. These are also operators. So here operators means defining the operation. So it may be arithmetical operation. So plus minus, division, multiplication. Or maybe the comparison type of operation. We are comparing two numbers are equal or not, two numbers are not equal or not, or it is greater than, or it is not greater than, it is true or it is false. So all this operation is defined by what? means who is defining this thing is what called operators, and to whom it is working, it is operating, that is called operand. So today we are going to discuss first unary operator. So what is the unary operator? It is working with one operator. We have so many, like as I discussed, plus and minus, but here we have two specific unary operator, that is called increment operator, which the syntax is something plus plus back to back. Okay, there is no space. And another one is decrement operator, again back to back to minus sign. And don't think like that we can do more than one or more than less than one, or it means more than two or less than one. It is only two plus sign or only two minus sign. Don't think like that, okay, if I add one more, three plus sign or three minus sign. No, it is not going to happen. It will give you error. It will give you what? It will give you error, because there is no such syntax of more than to increment or decrement operator. Second thing is what? Don't if you write only one plus or one minus, then it will work as a arithmetical operator. Here it is having something different meaning. So what is the meaning of increment or decrement operator? So why it is calling unary operator? First thing is what? As I said, it is back to back to plus sign. Decrement is back to back to minus sign. So increment is doing what? Suppose you have one variable x, any value, suppose you have 10. Okay, you have any variable which is having x variable. If you do any increment operator, increment is again having two parts, we will discuss in detail. Decrement is also having. So first we will discuss the simple one. So suppose you are writing variable with this sign, means you are trying to applying increment operator to this variable. So what is the meaning of applying here? So whenever you write any variable with increment operator, don't write 5 plus plus, it is syntax, it is wrong. So here if you try to apply any increment value to a variable, then increment is doing what? It will increase the existing value by 1. Whatever existing value, it will just add the value. So x plus plus, you are writing something like you are adding with x whatever the value, x plus 1 whatever the value. So existing value is 10, so latest value will be what? 11. So after this operation, the final value of x will be 11. Increment operator is doing this. Increment operator is incrementing the variable value by 1. It will also apply to the float and double variable. So this is what is happening here. So increment operator will increase the value, existing value by 1. So suppose if someone started, someone said, okay, if my value is minus 1, then I will do y plus plus. Then what happened? So its value, final value is 0, because minus 1, if you increase by 1, then the final value is 0, means 0 is greater than minus 1 by 1. Okay, so this is what happening. Either it is positive or it is negative, it doesn't matter. It will just increase the value by 1. And decrement is just doing reverse. It will decrease the value by 1. So if you declare any variable, suppose a equal to minus 10. So if you do a minus minus, means we are applying decrement value. So it will do what? After this one, it will finally decrease the value. So a value will be minus 11, because it decreased the value. So similar to this one, if int b is equal to plus 4 and you do b minus minus, then after this operation, then it will make a then it will make b value, final value is 3. So here first thing is what? If you see, wherever I am writing increment operator or decrement operator, I am writing with only one single variable, means here only one operand. Okay, this is your operand here. Okay, this is your operand, and this plus plus sign, this is here your operator. Okay, Sahil. So here this one, this operand is what? How many? Is equal to 1. That's why this one is called unary operator. Either it is increment operator or decrement operator. Both are unary operator. It will increase the value by 1 and it will decrease the value by 1. They subtract the value and it will add the value. So this is your increment and decrement operator, and it is a part of unary operator. increment operator. Okay, so decrement I'm not going to discuss. Same all the concept applied to the decrement operator, but value will be decreased. Okay, so here I declare a variable and I gave the value 9 and I am just printing that value. Then after that I increase the value, okay, by applying increment operator. So as it is 9, so I applied only once, then the value should be 10. We can apply again and again. Okay, how many times you will apply the this increment operator, then it will increase by 1. Okay, so if suppose here I applied only one time, then it is 10. If I apply writing this one again, then it will increase by 11, then 12, then 13. So it's not like that you can just provide only one time you can apply increment or decrement operator. It is not like that. We can do both. We can increment the operator also and we can decrement operator also a number of times. So how many times you will do that number of time, it will increase or decrease on the basis of either increment or decrement operator. So if we run this program, then you can see, so initially value is what, 9, then we apply the increment operator, then the value is changed to 10. This is what the way we declare a variable. You can say like a man. Okay, then we are just printing. This is what, this is a syntax which will print the value in your console. Console is just any, you can say a screen where if you write this line of code and you provide whatever inside the string, double quote meaning string, it will print as it is. Okay, string will not visible, but when you give the plus sign and you give the x means variable name, this is the variable name, then it will print its value. It will not print as it is like this one x dot, because it is, we are inside the double quote. Okay, then x, as we apply this increment operator, then we will give the value. Now here what happened, now we will see one thing here. In increment operator, as I said, we can write plus plus. In increment operator we have two parts. One is called post increment. Both are increment, but one is called post increment and one is called pre increment. What is post increment and what is pre increment? If suppose you have any variable, if you give the name, suppose we have any variable, any name, okay, it may be x, y, a, b, c, anything, and you give this plus sign after variable. See, this is your variable and you give the plus sign after variable, then it is called post. Post means after. So now this time increment operator is called post increment. Similar to this one, if we write before variable name, any variable name x, y, z, then it is called pre increment. Both are increment and both will increase the value by 1. Don't think it is what pre and post will make the value decrease. No, and more than 1. No, both will increase the value and both will increase by 1 only. But if you are writing the increment operator after your variable, then it is called post increment. But and if you are writing the increment operator before variable, then it is called pre increment. This is the difference. This is a huge difference. We will discuss the example. So if any increment operator after variable, you can realize or not. See, we declare any variable, suppose y is our variable. So if I am writing here like this, then this is an example of post increment. If same thing, if I am writing before a variable, then it is an example of pre increment, but both will increment by 1 only. It's not like going to change its characteristic. It will increase the value, but we have to check what is the difference between these two. So this example what we discuss is post increment. You can see this is what variable before means variable is before, then we are writing increment operator. So this is an example of post increment. Now we are going to write the pre increment. Pre increment, if you see the pre increment, it is doing what? It is just writing the variable before that one. So here you can see after that, that is I just changed post increment. Okay, but here it is what? Just before. So this is the difference. So now if I write the program, if I execute this program, so what will be the value? So if you see, we will change the variable name, so at least you will realize that both are not same. It is not like I am executing the same program. So if I run this program, you can see same result. Even if I do the pre increment, I give the same value, but if I do the post increment. This time I did the X. So if we are executing, we are not executing the same program. That's why I changed. So now it is executing the same. So I have to go run as Java application. So this both are behaving same. If you see post and pre-increment. So we will see the difference between pre and post. Okay, same applied for decrement operator. They just decrease the value, both. Now what we have to do, I wrote the program like int x equal to 9, any value, not only 9. Then if I do x plus plus, this is post example, and I just print the value, then you will get the result what? 10. Now if another place I am writing again, suppose y equal to 1, I am making pre-increment, and then if I am printing SOP y, SOP means here system.out.println. It takes so much time, that's why I'm writing in short. Then it is again printing the 10. So you will say, sir, what is the difference then pre and post increment? Always remember, whenever in Java or in any programming language, they provide some precedence, some priority to the operators. So if you compare the post and pre priority, post is having priority, means in the same, if any expression of the program, if anywhere you have some code, so if you have the that operator, then means which one will execute first. Okay, so this is called priority or precedence. Like the simple example in math I will give you. Suppose I am doing this one, 2 plus 3 into 5. Okay, so what operation we have to first perform? This plus one or this multiplication one? Which operation we have to perform first? Multiplication one. Why? Because we understood like that. The teacher teach like that. Okay, first we have to go for multiplication, then we have to go for the any other thing like formula, BODMAS or what. So this is what is called priority or precedence. So here if you see plus and multiplication, so multiplication priority is high and this one is low. So in the same operation expression, like we have some calculation or expression, then we have to do first this one. So we do not touch the plus one, but we first do what? We first multiply. Similar to that one, suppose you have 2 plus 10 by 5, then again we will do what? We do not do the plus sign, we first do the division. Okay, and then whatever the result, we will get the result. So here we have the same thing. Post priority is very low. Very low means lowest, and pre priority is very high, means the highest you can say. This is highest and this one is lowest. If in some expression we are going to do some type of means which involve another operand also, like here. So if I do 3 into 5, okay, so there is no need of checking the priority and all those things, because only multiplication is there. Okay, or we are doing 2 plus 5, so I cannot give you an example, I cannot define you by giving these two example that which one is having the priority high. Why? Because both are in the different place. That's why here there is no other expression, this is coming individual. So I can, that's why I give you such an example that both are working same but their priority are different. Here there is no other expression, only one operation we are doing, like here as I am saying. So here if I give you one example of this, one example of this, I cannot explain you whose priority are higher. Pre and post. Post is what? Having the lowest priority. Priority means if you see the maths, because you people are doing maths already, that's why I'm giving an example, because here it is a programming, no? So if I give the programming example, so who did the programming they can understand easily, but who didn't did the programming, so for them it is difficult. That's why I'm giving the example of real time scenario that already we face. See here, if you are doing any maths, you are doing 2 plus 3 into 4, so we are going to do this operation first. This operation means we are doing 2 plus, first we multiply. So why we are not doing the plus sign? Because we have some follow BODMAS or something rule. But here I can say in simple word, I am saying no, priority of the multiplication is higher and the priority of the plus sign is lower. So priority here you can say means it is like having the high status. So we have to first entertain the multiplication part. So this is what I am saying. If you have post operator, either increment or decrement. Okay, applied for both. Increment will increase, decrement will decrease by 1 only. So I'm not going to teach a decrement separately, only this apply for both. So this is your post. Post means, like you can say, like a plus sign, means it is going to happen after this operation. Means other operators maybe you will see, I will discuss examples, then it will more clear. And pre means you can say like a multiplication. Okay, it is having high. So if pre is any expression, then we have to first entertain or first perform pre operation. And post is what? If it is with some expression, like here as I am giving you example, this is 2 plus 5, and so you got the answer this. And if I say 3 into 4, you got the result. And I am explaining you that no, priority of this multiplication is higher. So here in different expression, in separate operation, we cannot define like that. So we have to combine this operation. So it's not like that I am going to combine the post and pre, but with different operators. You will see the example. So post is lowest, means very least. Okay, and pre is the highest, means very high. Now we will see the example. Now this example, if you see what I am doing, I am just assigning a variable value x equal to 3. After that I am doing what? I am first doing the pre-increment to this variable whose value was 3, and then assign the value to y. As I said, equal sign one time is meaning is what? Whatever the value in the right side will be assigned to the y. Okay, the priority of equal sign is lesser than the priority of increment operator. So first it will do what? It will increase the value and then will assign to the value to the y. So finally when I print this both variable x and y, then you can see x value, as you increase the value of x because of this pre-increment operator, the value will be 4. And once the value is increased, then as I said, there is two operators. We are doing two operation in this one line. In one line we are doing only one operation. What? We are assigning a value 3 to variable x. Here this variable is what? We are first incrementing the value of the variable, then assigning to y. Why we are doing first? Because as I said, the priority of pre-increment is really high and the priority of equal sign generally low. But here it is what? This one is first do this operation, then it will assign the value. So if I run this program, so you can see both value is what? 4. Why? Because it first increase, then assign to value of y. Once it is increased, x is 4 because previously it was 3. And then it assigned the value to the y, then the value is what? 4. Now we will see the same thing with post increment. Now post increment I am doing what? If you see in the pre increment, we are increasing the value. So in pre-increment, if you see in the right side, it is pre-increment. As I said, the priority of the pre-increment is really high. That's why it first do this operation, then assign the value. Here, generally, if you see the equal operator, priority is low, but the post-increment operator priority is the lowest. That's why it first assign the value of x to y. It will looks like this. Suppose I declare a variable int x equal to 1. Value doesn't matter. Okay, operation matters. So what happen whenever you declare a variable? Three things happen in your memory. One is what? Memory will be allocated according to the data type size. Int is a data type, so its size is 4 bytes. So this much of value will be memory will be allocated, and whatever the variable name is name of this memory location. This is the memory location, and then whatever the value you assign, it will be place here but in the binary format. Now I am declaring another variable. I said int z equal to x post increment. So post increment, it looks like we are doing two operation here. One is assigning the value from right side to the left side, and second is what? We are trying to increase the value. So here it depends which operation is going to be performed first, because in the previous case, what we saw in the previous case, when we declare a variable int a equal to 1, suppose int b equal to pre-increment, and then what happened? If you see here, a value is 1, then we try to increase the value, and when we give the value here b. So this is pre-increment, so I said its priority is really high. So what happened? Before assigning the value to the b from a to b, it first do this operation. So first it makes a equal to 2, Then after that it will assign the value. Once this operation done, so then value of a will be assigned to b. So what is the latest value of a? It is 2, so it will assign here. Now here we will see same. This time we are trying to assign the value of x to the z. So z value, what value will copy? As I said, this value, this operation is having lowest priority. So first assignment will done. So assignment, now z equal to x. So you are trying to assign the value of x to the z. So the latest value of x is 1 because this operation is not going to perform, its priority are low, like plus and multiplication or division operation. So plus multiplication or division perform first, then plus will happen. So here then what happened, this is the lowest, this is the value, whatever the value, it may be 1, it may be 100, it may be minus or minus 100, whatever the latest value will assign to z. But what happened, this operation is done, but this operation haven't done yet. Now after this operation is done, this will perform. Like if you do 2 plus 3 into 5, if you already multiply, then you have to do this plus also, then the result you will get. So you are going to, now our compiler will do this increment, so the value of x become 2. The final output when we print the value of x and z, so you can see value of x will be 2, but the z value will be 1. We will check this one. So if this program is working, then we should get the value here. X is 4 because the initial value is 3, and the y is x is 4 and y is 3. So generally people get confused. For pre-increment they said okay, but post, see, x value is what, 4, but pre is y is what, 3. Why? Because of the priority. You first assign the value x to the y, so x value was 3, so assign to y, then you increase the value of x, but there is no effect on the z because z is completely a different variable. Once you assign the value, it's done. Then whatever you are doing with x, it is happening with x. So this is the difference between the post and pre-increment. If you do separate operation, you cannot distinguish what is happening. If you more than one expression combine, it's not only just assignment. Okay, we haven't discussed other operators like multiplication or division operators, or we haven't discussed any other operator like relational operators. That's why I just give a simple example like assignment. Assignment means we are assigning the value from right to left. You can see, no, I just print both of them in both time. In both, when we do post, if you run this program, run as Java application, see both value is 4, same value. Why? Because it is pre, it first increase the value. These all are post increment. See, this operation is having line number 8. Your program always execute from left to right like English language, and top to bottom. Like English is what, whenever we read always left to right and top to bottom. Our program is also executing in the same way. So it will start from here, it will go this, it will go this, it will go this, it will go this, and it will go this. It's not like that it will come here, then it will go reverse. It is a coding we can do, looping or something, some things are there, but in normal way it is going top to bottom and left to right. Binary operators. So binary, as I believe you understood, that binary means having 2 operands. Unary means 1. So we will discuss with the binary operators. So in binary operator we have so many. Okay, so first thing is what we are going to discuss, arithmetic operators. Okay, so in arithmetic operator we have all like maths, only one is extra: plus, minus, multiplication, division, and there is called percentile sign, which one we are calling modulus. It is what? Modulus. This is extra in our programming language, either Java, C. Okay, so we will discuss that one also. So in these are all binary. So number 1 is arithmetic. Number 2 is relational operators. So in relational operator we have double equal sign, not single equal. Single equal means you are just assigning the value from right to left. This is what it is checking, that both side left and right value is equal or not. Then it returns the result either true or false. If it is equal, then it will say equal, true. If it is not equal, then it will return false. We have another not equal to operators. This is also binary operator. It will check not equal. If it is not equal left and right, then it will return true, just reverse of this one, opposite of that one. So this is relational. Then we have greater than sign like math. Then we have greater than equal to like maths. Then we have less than, and we have less than equal to. Any other operator? I don't think so. Then we have another operator that is called logical operator. So logical operators like we read some of them, maybe read digital gates, okay, digital electronics, the gates. We have AND operation. So AND is represented by 2 ampersand. Then we have OR is represented by 2 pipes line. Pipe is what? If you see the backslash button, if you press with shift that backslash button, then it will print this. And then we have NOT. So NOT is not the part of binary, it is the unary, but it logical operator. That's why I am writing NOT is not a binary operator, it is a unary operator, but it comes into the logical scenarios. That's why I am putting here, okay, but it is unary operator, but it is behave like its behavior is a part of logical operators. So we are going to discuss all of them one by one. First we will discuss, as I said, it's not like there is not applying BODMAS or something mathematical operator. We are calling something is here is called associativity. So what is the meaning of associativity? Is from where to where we are doing the operation. Like as I said, assignment operator, int j equal to 5. So associativity of this operator, assignment operator, is right to left, means whatever the value from the right will be assigned to the left. Okay, so this is what defined by the associativity, from where to where we are doing the operation. For arithmetical operation, the associativity is left to left to right. So what is the meaning of left to right? So suppose if we have, but who is having higher priority, we have to first perform that one. For same priority, we have to go from the left to right. Like if I am writing int 3 plus 5 into 6 by 10. So I don't know about the BODMAS which one will apply first, but in Java it first go from left to right. So left to right, first it will check plus, but plus priority is lower. Okay, then it will check this sign, multiplication sign and division sign. So maybe in maths it is, maybe they will do division, but here if same priority, they will do first left operation. So they will do like this, 3 into 30 by 10. So the result is 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. So this is called associativity. So for arithmetical operation, it is, for arithmetic operation is what? It is left to right. Don't apply the BODMAS operation, else you will get the different result. So here it is same operators, then we have to do left to right. So remember that one. So we will apply this one. So you can see at least one example. So we do 3 plus 5 into 6 by 10, then we'll get the result 6. Example of this one also. So here if you see same example, but we are doing what? 5 plus 2 into 3 divided by 5. So first this will perform. So it will give you 6. 6 divided by 5. This concept I skip. So we will discuss now. First multiply and divide Sahil. It always first do left side, then right side. Okay, so for same priority operator, if we, as we know, the this multiplication sign and division sign is having same priority, plus is less priority. So basically if the rule is left to right, then we have to do the plus sign, but plus priority is less. So we will start, our compiler will start from left to right, left first. Okay, if left is having division and right is having multiplication, then here what we have to do? We have to do first, our compiler do first division, then multiplication, means it is, no, we do not add 3 plus 5. I didn't add 3 plus 5. You can see first I multiply, then I got the result 30, then we divide by 10, then we got the result 3, then 3 plus 3 is equal to 6, where I added 3 plus 5. I said it is associativity is left to right, but apply to same priority operators. If the priority is changed, we have to entertain first higher priority. This is what I say is associativity. This is like, as I said, learning any programming language, you have to learn how compiler is behaving. It's not like what I am thinking or you are thinking. If we are thinking something like anything, any operation we are thinking from our mind that it should happen like this and the result should be this, but when we run the program and the result is different, so it's like our thinking is useless. We are not thinking the way compiler is behaving. As I said in the first class, learning any programming language, we have to learn how the behavior of the compiler. Okay, so here compiler is behaving like left to right, but it depends on the priority. If same priority or same precedence, then it will follow left to right. It will not follow BODMAS or BODMAS whatever. Okay, so if you apply that math, you will not get the result. Okay, so these are the simple thing in Java program. I was discussing typecasting. I already discussed, but here one thing I forgot to mention. If operation between two same data type, if any operation, it may be multiplication, it may be division, or any other type of operation, if any operation between same data type, then the result is also same data type. But if operation happening between two same data type, like int, any operation, it may be anything, it's not like multiplication, division. If you are doing operation between two int data type, so the result is always int data type. Always remember, last time I discussed typecasting means it's the operation between int and double, then the result is in double. If the operation between int and float, then the result is in the float. Why? Because it is going to the up typecasting. As I said, it is automatic, means Java will do that one. And I also give you the result because they give some priority, some type, the size of the data and all those things. But now here what happened, as I said, if the operation between two same data type, the result is also same data type. So why I am saying here, because suppose if I am doing something like this, 5 divided by 2, so in real life, in our real life, it will give you 2.5. But here if you see in the programming language, 5 is integer, not double, not float. Okay, not, I haven't write the decimal value, and 2 is also like integer, so no float, no double. So what happened in real life, we are having 2.5, but in program we will get the result simply 2. Why? Because 5 is also integer, int is also integer. As I said, if both same data type, both or more than any number of data types, any number of times you are doing any operation, but if the operation happening between same data type, result is also in the same data type. So as it is integer, as it is in integer, but in real life we have 2.5, but in programming it will discard any fraction value. If any fraction value, your program will, your compiler will discard and will give you the result in the same data type. What is that data type? Integer. What is that data type? Is also integer, so result is also integer. So don't make such mistake, it is a huge mistake, because generally in count I will show you what is that mistake. So remember this one. So if operation between two data type, then the result is also same data type. It is not going to convert automatically any other data type. You can make intentionally, like we did the typecasting or char or float, writing inside any program, any data type. Like if I do something like this, 5 divided by, if I wrote suppose double in bracket, we already discussed. So that is what intentionally we are doing. So it is explicit. Then the result is in 2.5. You already make that double. It is typecasting. Last class we already discussed. Then you will get the result 2.5. Or you can also make that one as float. Then you will get again the result is 2.5. Difference between the double and float is the size, 8 and 4 bytes, because 5 is having lower priority, as we discussed, no, like maths having plus, minus and all those things, pre, post increment in Java. So same thing is applied in the programming language, Sahil. It depends on the priority. Rule is left to right, but if someone is having the higher priority, then we have to first entertain those things. So this is the case. Yes, double you have to write inside the bracket. You cannot, in double 2 means 2, you have to make double. Either you can write 2.0 or you can write inside the bracket double, the way I wrote. So these are the example of typecasting. This one is, if you see, this will generate 2 divided, oh sorry, it is an example. I will do that one also. So if you see 2 into 3, it's 6. 6 divided by 5 is some fraction value, but there is no fraction. You will get the result. This divided by this one is something 1.2 or something, but you will get the result only 1, because it will discard the value. So the output is 5 only, because this complete expression will return you the 1. So if we multiply, if we run this one, oh sorry 6, because this one is giving you 1 and this one is 5. So 5 plus 1 is 6 is the answer. Okay, not 6.2. If we do in the real world scenario, then it will give you 1.2. Okay, so this is the thing. Now I will write this program again, just changing some of the values. So instead of multiplication, I first divide and then I will do here multiplication, and I am removing this one. So if anyone will see what will be the result, can anyone suggest? So first I am also changing this thing. I am writing operation. To see the result, can anyone tell me what will be the output? What will be the result? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll check this one. How it is 7? It is division, then multiplication. Okay, anyone else? So if you see, it returns 0. Why it returns 0? Because if you divide these two number, the result is something 0 point something, 0.16 or whatever. But when Java see both are integer, it will simply discard the fraction value. So this will return you the 0. So anything is multiplied by 0 is 0. 2 by 3 in real time, maybe it is what, how much? 0.6666. As I said, so as I said, it is both are integer, 3 and 2 both are integer, so result is also in integer, so it will discard the fraction part, so you will get the result only 0. Then you will get, if you multiply with 0 anything, it is result is 0. Now here we are doing, it is post increment. So here we are just doing some operation. Okay, so we declare a variable z equal to 4. We are multiplying 5 with this z operator, where we are doing the post increment. So in post increment, what happened? As I said, here we are doing 3 operation. If you see this complete expression, here we are doing 3 operation. One operation is increment. Okay, this is one operation. One operation is what? Arithmetical operation. It may be plus, minus, multiplication or division, and one operation is equal. So equal assignment operator is what? First it will execute all the right side operation, then it will assign whatever the value will be to the x. This is what equal is doing. So equal is generally lower than all operators except post increment, as we saw in the previous example. So here what happened, the z value will not increase. So 5 will multiply with z latest value. So what is z value is 4. So 5 4s are 20. 20 will be assigned to x. But once assignment also happens, so 2 operation we did already, we multiply, this operation done, we already assigned the value whatever the operation got. Then after that we are increasing the value of z. As I said, post increment is having the lowest priority, so we are doing 3 different operation here, but the last operation is going to happen is increment of z value. So z finally you can see the final value is will be 5 and the x value is 20. Why 20? Because here we are getting only 4, which is the latest value of z, but after this expression completed, then z value increase by 1 and it becomes 20. So we will run this program. So see, x is equal to 20 and z is 5. You, Mr. Sajid, you try this expression and next class tell me is throws expression x error or not. So this is the post increment. Now what happens if similar type of operation we will do with the pre-increment? So this time we are increasing the value, but it is pre. As I said, again 3 operation is happening. One is what? Value of z is increasing. Second is what? We are doing some multiplication operation. It may be not only multiplication, maybe any operation, and then we are doing the assignment operator. So 3 things: multiplication, assignment and increment. So which one is going to be performed first? As I said, pre-increment is having the highest precedence, so it will increase first. So the value of z become 5, then it will participate in multiplication. So value of z here always be 5 here, not 4. In the previous example it was 4, but this time it is 5. So if you see here, if I run this program, then previous case the x value was 20, but this time it is 25. Why? Because 5 multiplied by 5. Why 5? Because it is pre-increment and the value of 4 is increased by 1, so it is 25. So if I run this result, you want me to print it doesn't matter if you print z first. So we are going to print z first. So z value is what? 5. But yes, if you print z before this line, then it matters. The value of z is only 4 because it is happening before this line. If I print suppose here z, then this time you can see z value is 4 only, because you haven't reached up to this expression. It is going top to bottom. So this part is done, 4 printed, then operation happen, then this and then this. So you can see here. So suppose here we have any other number, or better if I do suppose now suppose we have y post increment. Here I just increase the, so if you see this one is post and this one is pre variables, okay, z, y and x. So you can see this makes, maybe it becomes difficult, complex, so then you have to stick with the rule. So here rule is what? It is post, so it will increase after. So here is 7, so the result is what? 5 5s are 25 plus 7, so result of x is 32, z is 5 and y is also 8. So if I run this program, so you can say x is 32, this is the only thing, and here z is 5, y is 8. This one is I am printing before the expression, there is no change in the z. So this type of thing can be happen, so you have to think about that one. Every time whenever you do the coding, like I complete my class, then I generally push the code. So whenever you touch your code, first pull the code, because I am not the only guy who is pushing the code. Like Ibrahim, he will write the code, he will push the code. So everyone, if you do not push the code, last time I already discussed that if you do not push the pull the code, then you cannot push the code. Why I already discussed in the last class, so watch my video. So similar to this one, we have so many things. Now we are going to discuss called modulus operator. As I said, it looks like percentage sign, so it will give you a remainder. Spelling maybe not right. Okay, it will give you the remainder. Remainder means, suppose if you are writing 5 modulus 2, then it will return you 1. 10 modulus, suppose I have this 10 modulus 7, so it will give you the remainder. So 3 10 modulus 7, so it will give you the remainder. So it helps you a lot. Okay, so I ask you, please check a number is odd or even. Suppose I ask you, if any number, suppose any number I given n, you have to check by programming and tell me that it is odd or even. So odd or even is what we know. If any number is completely divisible by 2, then it is even. If it is not divisible by 2, then it is what? Odd. So if you see this modulus operator, it is doing what? If you any number like this number, so if you are dividing with the modulus operator with 2, if you get the result 0, then you can say, sir, it is even. Why? Because if any number is completely divisible by 2, then it will give the remainder 0. So you can say even if it is not equal to 0. Something, any value, but not 0, it will give you only 1. This is very helpful if you means in the logic to check something, so many things. Okay, so here I just give an example of even and odd. So you have to divide, that means you have to check that number with the modulus with this 2, okay, and check what it returns. If it returns 0, it is even. If it is not returns 0, so 2 divisible by any number, either 0 or 1, and we can say it is not means it is a reminder is like that, means it will, you can say that it is not odd or even. Okay, on the basis of that one. Second, so many scenarios are there. Suppose I ask you, please check a number, any number, that it is completely divisible by suppose 7, then same will apply. You will do n division, then this one. If it is 0, its meaning is what? It is completely divisible by 7. This is very useful when we do so many operations. So always remember modulus operator, and it will returns you the remainder, which is not in our maths. Okay, in maths we cannot give any expression like we will find out the remainder directly. So this is one of the example of modulus operator, which is arithmetical operation, relational operation. Okay, relational operator. So relational is again binary operator. So how many operators we have? It is double equal, means we are comparing. Don't confuse with the single equal. Single equal is assignment. It will just assign the right value to the left. In relational operator, this one, it will not means assign any value. It just simply what? Check the value, the left side and the right side of this operator. If it is equal, they will return you the true. If it is not equal, they will return you the false. Another we have not equal. Then we have greater than. Then we have less than, greater than, equal to, and less than, equal to. Always remember relational operators return Boolean result. Boolean means either true or false. It will return what? Boolean result only. So Boolean result are only of two type. One is what? True, and one is what? False. I declare a variable Boolean. Okay, b is equal to, suppose 1 equal to 3. So this one is what? This one is what? Comparing right value and left value. So whatever the result of this will be assigned to this variable. This is your assignment operator. So here if you see 1 and 3 are not equal, so if you print the value of b, then you can say it is false. Now in the different side, if you see here, Boolean, suppose I said r, if I am writing not equal to, this time it will result what? True. Why true? Because 1 and 2 are not equal. This is not and this is sign. So not equal, yes, it is true. Here it was not equal, but we are trying to using the equality operator. So these are the some of the comparison similar to this one, like 5 greater than 3. Yes, true. 5, and we have greater than and equal to, like 5. If I say 5 greater than 5, then it will returns what? False. But if I say 5 greater than equal to 5, then it will say true. It will check either it is greater or equal, means both condition. So here only if you use the greater, it will return false, because 5 is not greater than 5. 5 is equal to 5, but this time this condition is pass, and then it will get the result. So if you see, this is the example. I just give some value. See, we can compare value directly with some variable, like here I comparing the integer, means the value very directly, and here I am declaring a variable, then comparing. Both same thing. Either you can declare a variable or you can do the direct. It depends on your requirement. Here we are just discussing very small topic, very small thing. That's why it doesn't matter. In future it matters that how you can do. So if I run this program, so it will return you true. Similar to this one, equal to operator, greater than sign, all are same. Don't take tension. Just it is a relational operator, but always remember the result it returns, it should be Boolean, either true or false. Either if it is whatever the expression is there, relational operator is there, then it will return you either true or false. So I am trying to run this program, then see what will be the output. How many of you confuse this one or do not understand why it is y x is 2, y is 2, and it is false? I will explain. So expression is r equal to x plus equal to y. The expression is something like that we have value x equal to 1, y equal to 2, and r is equal to x plus and equal to y. So here we are doing again 3 operation. One is assignment, one is increment, one is comparison. Both are equal or not. So as I said, we have to see which priority is high. Here post increment, it is the lowest. It is what? It is lowest. That's why we first do equal. So what is the latest value of x? 1. So is 1 equal to 2? No, it will returns you the false. So our value is false. Then after this, as we already compare and we got the result, so assignment is also done. So its meaning is what? Then x value will increase. So x will be 2, and we haven't changed the value of y. We just did the same value as 2. So this is the result. So because of post increment, this expression evaluated false, not true. This is evaluated what? False, not true. So we have to check such type of thing, because if you go into the programming, they will generally ask such type of question. Okay, I will run this program. If you see here what happened, the value of y is 5 and the value of x is also 5, and here we are doing what? We are trying to compare that it should not equal. If it is not equal, then it will returns true. If it is equal, then it will returns false. So here what happened, it is a pre-increment. If you have pre-increment, then what happened? Value of y increase, then value of y become 6. Then it will compare. Then it is what? It will return you the true, because y is already 6. So x is not equal to y. Why? Because x is 5 and y is 6 because of post increment, pre-increment. If it is post increment, then it will return the same result. I mean, true. We will see x value, y value is 6, x value is 5, and b is true. So it is true. It is x, y is, it is pre-increment. So once it is pre-increment, the value become 6. As I said, this is having the highest priority. So this is not equal, this is equal, and this is having the highest priority. So this is going to happen. That's why it is true 5, 6. So this is the way. Same program I am going to write with post. Okay, just I make it post. Now this time you can see this will result false. Why false? Because the value they both will compare is y is also 5 and x is also 5. Why 5? Because it is a post increment. But at the time of printing, it will print the 6. But at the time of comparison, it will compare with the 5. Why? Because after each and every operation, means first comparison will happen, then assignment will happen, then increment will happen. So when it reach after this line, not here, just after this expression, then value of y is already increase as a result of the last operation in this expression. So this time you will see what will be the result. This time the result is false. Other things is remaining 5 and 6, but the result is false. So the value of both of them will increase. It's not like that any one of them will not increase. Value of all of them will increase. Why? Means not b, because both are doing increment operation. So this increment will happen, but it depends after operation or before operation. Like we have the x as a pre-increment, so before comparison it will first increase the value of x. So x value will be 6. Now y is post increment, so it will not increase. 6 equal to 6. Now this time after pre-increment of x and post increment of y, so post not going to happen now. It first increase the value of x, then it becomes 6. So 6 will compare with the y. So if both values are now it is same, so that's why it returns the 2. But after this operation, y will also increase. Someone if saying that y value is 6, then it is wrong. So y value will also increase. So x value will be 5, 6, y value will be 7, and sorry, x value is 6, y value is 7, and b is what? True. So if you go to the programming, no, if they take the test, then they will give you such an example. Why? Because it will indicate that how much you have the understanding of that increment operator, equal operator, not equal operator, because it will, you know, describe your knowledge in this expression, especially the post and pre-increment. If you see the decrement operator, same will apply, same logic apply for post and pre, but the only difference is what? The value, instead of increasing, it will decrease. There is no other difference. Don't be confused, because I'm not going to discuss the decrement again, it will take so much time, but same concept. The value is changed. Value doesn't matter, you know, value is anything, data is anything, but what you are doing. As I said, whenever we are doing the program, it's like programming is like we are providing any input, our program process that those input means those data, and then it will give you the result. So this is what we are doing, what processing the means processing operation we are doing, that how things are working. So these are pre and post increment operators with relational operator. We can do the greater than sign, less than sign, all those things. So all are same. You have to just stick with the rule and try to understand the thing. So how we are getting, how we are getting true. So this question you do not understand, you ask me. No, that's what I am asking. You do not understand, then just ask me. Okay, so this is the expression. If you see b is equal to x plus plus, so initial value of y and x is 5 and y is 6. So initial values of x is 5, y is what, 6. Is this clear? Now here if you see the expression b is equal to plus plus x, and then we are comparing equal to sign, then y is plus plus. When we, before going to this line, we are just setting the value. So first what happened, one memory will be allocated for x and one memory will be allocated for y. X initial value is 5. I am saying this initial means this, and y initial value is 6. Is this clear? Now as I said, our program execute top to bottom and left to right. Okay, so it comes to this line, this line it executed. When it comes to here, so first how many operation we have to do here? If you see, one is this is your comparison. It looks like 2, sorry for my handwriting. Okay, another operation is this one. This is increment, but it is pre. Another expression is this one. This is what, equality checking. It is checking what, equality, that both values, the right side one, okay, or the left side one are equal or not. If both values are equal, then it will return result what, true. As a whole, result will be true if both are equal. If not equal, then result is what, false. Now see here what happened. What is the initial value of x? 5. Now which one will do perform first? Like as I said, the maths, 3 plus 2 into 5 divided by 6. Okay, so suppose which one we have to do. So it is what, as I said, this one is having highest priority. So the value of x is increased because it's the task of the increment is what, increase the value. Yes. Post decided the priority. Okay, so the value is what, latest value is 6. Now it comes to the right side, but it is post, it will not increase. The value of y still remain. Oh, okay. 6. Now if I just change the value, this is 6. This is also what, 6. Both are equal or not, Mr. Mohsen? Equal. G. So what it will return? True. After that, this will perform post one. Then this will discard and the value. So when you see the latest value, 6, 7 and true. So if you see here, true, 6 and 7. Now we have to jump to the logical operator. So this is last binary operator as I remember. So logical operator, as I said, it looks and, then it is or, and it is not. Not is unary. Not is unary, and this one is easy. It will make the result just reverse. Reverse means opposite. Any result, it just make the opposite. So suppose if you are writing boolean x equal to true, then next line if you are writing boolean y is equal to not x, then it will do what? Whatever the value, it just reverse and then assign to y. So the y value will be false. If I do y is equal to not y, means again I am assigning the value into this one. Maths it is not allowed, but here it is allowed. Then it will do what? What is the latest value of y is false. Then it will do what? It just make the reverse. Then now latest value of y is true. Means if it is true, it will make false. If it is false, then it will make true. Now we are going to discuss AND operator. Okay, so this is ampersand 2 times, not single time. Okay, this is AND operator. Before that, going to discuss, we have to learn its truth table. There is something is called truth table, means its value and its characteristic. Here I'm not going to write true and false every time. True meaning 1, false meaning 0. If I'm writing 0, so understand it is false. If I'm writing 1, then understand then it is true. Suppose you are doing operation, as I said, it is a binary. It may be more than binary, but it is a binary. So suppose we have two input, x and y, and whatever the result, suppose we have the result, z is the output. So I am saying, suppose all are boolean. Suppose this is 0 0, means both are false. If it is 0, means x is 0, if x is false, y is true, and it is 1 and 0, and it is 1 and 1. So this is what about the AND operation I am saying. If any condition is false, the result is false. Like 0 and 1, it is again false. Like 1 and 0, it is again false. Like 1 and 1, then it is true, means 1. So here always remember, in AND it's like a multiplication. 0 multiply with anything, final result is 0. Suppose I gave you 0 multiplied by a very big number. Suppose I am writing something like this: 5 into 10 into 3 into 9 into 7 into 0. So if someone is a smart guy, if they found it is 0, it will not calculate any one of this. It will just write the result as 0. Why? Because anything, whatever, even it is bigger multiplication of this, the result, if anything is multiplied by 0, is 0. So it looks like AND is like that. If any condition is false, output is false. If this condition is false, no need to checking this condition. This is important thing I am saying. If you found, suppose 0 into anything, for predicting the result, is it required to know the value of this question mark? If suppose I am multiplying 0 with anything and we don't know what is the value, so to saying the result 0, whatever the output, do we required to know the value of this? No need. No need. Why no need? Because what doesn't matter, whatever the result, if it is multiplied with 0, the output is 0. So no need of checking this one. So remember, this is very important thing. So this is your AND operation. Any condition is false, this is false. If the condition is true, then we have to check the second input. If the condition is true, then we have to check the second input, that it is true or false. So if your condition is true, then the result depends on the second one. Result depends on the second one. If it is true, if you see this, compare these two operations. If condition is true, if it is false, results is false. If first condition is true, if it is true, then the result is true. So in AND operation, if first condition is true, then the result depends on the second condition. But if first condition is false, no need to check the second one. If you see in these two condition, if suppose first condition is 0, output is 0. If first condition is 0, again the output is 0, means no need to check the second one. So if the condition is true, first condition is true, the output depends on the second condition. But if condition is false, then output, it doesn't matter, whatever the second condition, the result is 0. So I can say, if I know the first, I am doing operation and I know the first thing is 0, means false, then no need of checking that one. I will directly write. I will not do the operation. I will not multiply. I will not at all doing this operation. I will directly write the result. I say no, I know the result. Why? Because I know already the I got 0. So this is very important. You can see how we will apply in here in our programming. Now we will see the OR operation. OR is like a plus sign. So suppose we have A, B and C. So same thing, 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. So if all input is, if anyone is true, output is true. This is just reverse of AND. If any input is true, then output is true. So check, if first input is false, then the result depends on the second input, just reverse of AND. If first input is false, then the result is second, then you can see the result is 0. If first input is false, then the result depends on the second one. See, the second one is this one. Now if the first input is true, no need to check the second one, the result is true. If the first input is true, no need to check the second one, the result is true. So we can say in the or condition, if you know the first condition is true, no need to check the second. We do not go to do the operation or processing any data. If already we get the result, then we will get the result is true. Means first operation if true in or operation, I am saying in or operation, if first answer is true, then no need to check the another result. The result should be true. Means no need to check this one. Yes, opposite of and. And in the and is what, as I said, if the first condition is false, then no need to check the second, because the result is ultimately false. So these are the few things you can check in the and or operation. So always remember, there is one confusion. If you are writing single and, then it is called bitwise and. So if you are writing single and or single or, then it is bitwise and bitwise or. So it will work totally differently. But here we have to write 2 times. Here we have to write 2 times like this. Then it is logical and or logical or. Suppose if I am writing Boolean result is equal to true and false. So what will be the result? If you see, it is false. Why? Because one of them is false. So if I write if both are true, then this time you will see the result is true. So true, false. If any both are true, then it will true. If any one of them is false, it is false. No need to check the second one. If we write now, just reverse this operation. So if any one of them is true, the result is true. So this is what, how is that different from yeah. Now if I show you when it will be false, if all the result is false, then it is false. So this is how true and false work. Then we also will write one program, not logic. So if I am writing boolean b is equal to true, and then boolean res is equal to just not operate, then you can see if you are doing this not operator, it will not affect b value. So whatever the result totally will be assigned to result, that is only for RAS. Don't think that b value also getting false. No, b value will be remain same. So these are what just doing the comparing and then giving you the result. So it's not going to change the value of d. So not is what, just doing what, it reverse the value. So this is the thing. Now problem is happening what, if you see this is true, false. Now problem I will show you what will happen. Check the result properly. So value of y is not increasing. Even we have the maybe past and pre, it doesn't matter. But as I said, the value of y should increase. Why? Because we are applying the pre-increment or post-increment, whatever. But after this expression, value should change. But the value of y is not changing. Then why? What's the problem here? B is equal to x equal to y and operation. This is and operation. Then y post-increment equal to 3. So here we are doing so many operation together. So first is what you can say assignment. Second is what we are checking is true or not. This is again we are checking true, and then we have the increment. We group this one. As I said, and operation is what, it will work with the true and false value, either true or false, not any number or anything. So expression of this result then finally define the value of b. Now what happened here, the result what we found, x1 y2 and b false, x equal to 1, y equal to 2 and b equal to false. So here all people realize that this expression is false. Why? The associativity of this expression is also from left to right for the logical operation. So first it will evaluate this expression, then it will go to the right part for logical expression. Now here see, we already realize x is 1, y is 2. So it will returns what? False. Suppose we are going to do this one after that. Now see here, as I said last time, I said in the AND operation, if the result is first result is we know false, then no need to check the second one. So our compiler is very smart. Our compiler got the result when they realize this is false. So it is not executed at all. And this expression is not executed. If it is not executed, then there is no question of increment or decrement because they haven't executed this expression previously, whatever the result, but we got either true, false or whatever, or any mathematical expression, we are executing this one, then we are getting the result. As that's why I said, in the previous, when I was describing the AND and OR logic, I said if we know the result, we are not going to check the second result. So our compiler also is smarter than us. If we got the result, it is not going to execute this one because here no need to going to check. Why? Because we got the result. Compiler is very smart, so it will finally just assign the value of false and it got the result. It will not execute this one. It simply leave that as it is. That's why the value of by is 2. It's not increase at all because previously whatever we discussed, it may be false, whatever the expression pre, post, anything, but here it is not happening because not of post or pre, but it is going to be false. No, if you make it true, then the value will increase. I will make this one as a true. Now you will see. So you will see the value of y will increase, but the value of b is false. This is no, value of b is also sorry, value of b is false, but y will increase. Why? Because this one is true, so it will execute this one also, but this expression will give you the false because y is 2, but this expression as executed, that's why final value of y is 3, but here it will return you false because here the value of y is 2. It is a post increment. So this time you will see the value of y will increase. Why? Because this expression is true, then the result depends on this expression, but this expression executed and it returns false because y latest value is 2. It is a post increment, so that's why it gives you what? Value of y is 3 and it is false. Same example again, by making this one as 3. This time value of y increase, but the result is true. Why? Because it will increase before comparing. So here it will increase. This one is the happening previous. So this time it is 2, 3 and true. So how things are changing because of post, pre and or.